What is the first thing you think about when you hear the word friend? Someone who makes you laugh. Someone who spends time with you. Someone who agrees with everything you say. Those things can certainly be part of a friendship. But are they enough? The truth is, many people have hundreds of contacts on their phones, thousands of followers on social media, and dozens of people they call friends. Yet when life becomes difficult, they discover that only one or two people truly stand beside them. That's because a real friendship isn't measured by the number of people you know. It's measured by the quality of the people you trust. A true friend celebrates your success without jealousy, supports you during your failures without judgment, tells you the truth even when it's difficult, and stays beside you when everyone else walks away. In a world where many relationships are temporary, finding a genuine friend is one of life's greatest gifts. Hello, my amazing students. My name is Sarah, and today we're going to learn English through one of the most meaningful topics in life: what makes a true friend? Together, we'll discover what real friendship looks like, the qualities every true friend should have, how to overcome challenges in friendships, how to choose people who bring out the best in you, and why becoming a good friend is the first step toward finding one. As you listen, you'll improve your English vocabulary, your listening comprehension, your pronunciation, and your confidence while learning valuable life lessons you can apply in your own relationships. Remember, a true friend doesn't make your life perfect. They simply make life's difficult moments easier to face. We'll explore this topic through 5 lessons. Lesson number 1, what is a true friend? Lesson number 2, the qualities of a good friend. Lesson number 3, how to handle problems in friendship. Lesson number 4, choosing the right friends. And finally, lesson number 5, be the friend you want to have. Let's begin with lesson number 1. What is a true friend? Before we start, can I ask you one question? A year from now, will your English be better than it is today, or will you still be saying, "I'll start next week"? The truth is, most people don't fail because English is difficult. They fail because they never truly commit to it. That's why, for a limited time, I've reduced the price of the Native Flow English coaching experience to just $5. Not because it's worth only $5, but because I don't want money to be the reason you never start. For less than the price of a coffee, you can begin building a skill that can stay with you for the rest of your life. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Click the link in the description. Join us today, and I'll see you inside. Now, let's begin today's lesson. Lesson number 1. What is a true friend? Imagine this. You receive wonderful news. Maybe you got your dream job, passed an important exam, or achieved a goal you've worked toward for years. Who is the first person you want to tell? Now imagine something completely different. You're having one of the hardest days of your life. You feel disappointed, confused, or heartbroken. Again, who is the first person you want to call? For most people, the answer to both questions is the same: a true friend. This tells us something important. A real friend isn't only someone who shares your happiest moments. They're also someone you trust with your most difficult ones. Many people believe friendship is simply about spending time together, having fun, watching movies, traveling, laughing. Of course, those experiences are wonderful, but they aren't what truly define friendship. Real friendship is built on something much deeper. It's built on trust. Imagine lending something valuable to someone. You don't do it because they asked. You do it because you trust them. The same thing happens with emotions. When you tell a friend your fears, your dreams, or your secrets, you're trusting them with something far more valuable than money. That's why trust is the foundation of every lasting friendship. Without trust, a friendship may survive for a while, but it rarely becomes strong. Another common misunderstanding is confusing popularity with friendship. Some people know hundreds of people. They receive many messages. They have thousands of followers online. Yet, when they truly need someone, very few people are there. Meanwhile, another person may have only 2 close friends, but those 2 friends would do almost anything to help them. Which person is truly richer? The answer isn't measured by numbers. It's measured by genuine relationships. A true friend isn't someone who appears only during celebrations. They're also present during difficult seasons of life. Think about a tree. When the weather is warm, almost anyone enjoys sitting under its shade. But when storms arrive, only strong roots keep the tree standing. Friendship works in much the same way. Good times attract many people. Difficult times reveal who your real friends are. Another important part of friendship is acceptance. A true friend doesn't expect you to be perfect. They know you'll make mistakes. They know you'll have bad days. They understand that you're human. Instead of judging every mistake, they encourage you to become a better person. That doesn't mean they agree with everything you do. In fact, sometimes a true friend says something you don't want to hear. Imagine you're making a decision that could seriously hurt your future. A fake friend might stay silent because they don't want an uncomfortable conversation. A true friend speaks honestly, not to hurt you, but to protect you. Sometimes the greatest act of friendship is telling the truth with kindness. Another beautiful quality of friendship is feeling comfortable being yourself. Have you ever spent time with someone who made you feel like you had to pretend? Pretend to be happier, more successful, more confident, more interesting. Real friendship doesn't require acting. You can laugh together, stay silent together, talk for hours, or simply enjoy each other's company. You don't need to wear a mask because you're accepted for who you really are. There's another lesson worth remembering. Friendship isn't something you build overnight. Trust takes time. Respect takes time. Shared experiences take time. Strong friendships grow slowly, just like strong trees. The strongest relationships are usually built through hundreds of ordinary moments, simple conversations, small acts of kindness, keeping promises, being present when it matters most. Finally, remember that friendship is never one-sided. A healthy friendship is built on giving, not only receiving. Both people listen. Both people support each other. Both people celebrate each other's success. And both people make an effort to keep the relationship strong. Because friendship isn't about finding someone who makes life perfect. It's about finding someone who walks beside you through both the beautiful moments and the difficult ones. And sometimes, just knowing that someone believes in you is enough to help you believe in yourself. That is the quiet, powerful, and beautiful gift of a true friend. Lesson number 2, the qualities of a good friend. Have you ever wondered why some friendships last for a lifetime, while others disappear after only a few months? Often, the answer isn't luck, it's character. Strong friendships are built on strong qualities. Without those qualities, even the most exciting friendship eventually begins to fall apart. So, what are the qualities of a true friend? The first is honesty. Imagine asking your friend, "What do you think about my decision?" A fake friend might simply tell you what you want to hear. They don't want to disagree. They don't want an uncomfortable conversation. A true friend is different. They tell you the truth, but they do it with kindness. Suppose you're making a decision that could hurt your future. A real friend doesn't stay silent. They respectfully explain their concerns, not because they want to control you, but because they genuinely care about you. Honesty isn't always comfortable, but it's one of the greatest gifts a friend can give. The second quality is loyalty. Loyalty means standing by someone, not only when life is easy, but especially when life becomes difficult. Imagine hearing someone speaking badly about your friend. A loyal friend doesn't join the gossip. Instead, they defend the person who isn't there to defend themselves. Loyalty also means keeping private conversations private. When someone trusts you with their thoughts, their fears, or their dreams, they're giving you something valuable. A true friend protects that trust. The third quality is kindness. Sometimes people think kindness means doing big things. Actually, kindness is usually found in small moments. Sending a message to ask, "How are you today?" Listening carefully when someone needs to talk. Celebrating another person's success. Helping without expecting anything in return. These small acts may seem ordinary, but together, they create extraordinary friendships. Another essential quality is respect. Real friends don't always agree. In fact, sometimes they have completely different opinions. One friend may enjoy traveling. The other prefers staying home. One may love sports. The other enjoys reading books. Those differences don't have to destroy the friendship. Respect means accepting that another person doesn't have to think exactly like you. You can disagree, while still treating each other with kindness. Respect also means respecting someone's time, their feelings, their boundaries, and their dreams. Another quality many people forget is reliability. Imagine your friend promises to help you move into a new apartment. They promise to arrive at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock comes. They don't appear. You call them. No answer. Later they apologize. And the same thing happens again. After several broken promises, trust begins to disappear. A reliable friend does what they say they will do. Of course, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone forgets something occasionally, but when someone consistently keeps their promises, you know you can depend on them. That feeling creates security in a friendship. Another beautiful quality is encouragement. A true friend doesn't compete with your success. They celebrate it. Imagine you finally achieve an important goal. Maybe you get promoted, pass an English exam, or start your own business. A fake friend may feel jealous. They may minimize your achievement. A true friend feels genuinely happy for you. They clap the loudest. They encourage you to dream even bigger. Real friendship isn't a competition. It's a partnership. Good friends help each other grow. Perhaps one of the most important qualities is forgiveness. No friendship is perfect. People misunderstand each other. They make mistakes. Sometimes they say the wrong thing. If every mistake ended a friendship, no friendship would survive for very long. Forgiveness doesn't mean accepting repeated disrespect. It means understanding that imperfect people sometimes make imperfect decisions. When both friends are willing to apologize, to listen, and to forgive, their friendship often becomes even stronger than before. Finally, remember that the best way to find good friends is to become one yourself. Ask yourself, am I honest? Am I loyal? Do I keep my promises? Do I celebrate other people's success? Do I listen carefully? Because friendship isn't only about what you receive, it's also about what you give. When you become the kind of person others can trust, respect, and depend on, you naturally attract people with those same qualities. And that's how lifelong friendships are built, not through luck, but through honesty, loyalty, kindness, respect, and genuine care for one another. Lesson number 3, how to handle problems in friendship. No friendship is perfect. It doesn't matter how long you've known someone or how close you are. Sooner or later, every friendship faces challenges. The difference between strong friendships and weak ones isn't the absence of problems, it's the way those problems are handled. Imagine your best friend forgets your birthday. You feel disappointed. You begin thinking, maybe our friendship isn't important to them anymore. Without asking what happened, you stop replying to their messages. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. A beautiful friendship slowly disappears. Not because of one forgotten birthday, but because no one chose to communicate. This happens more often than we realize. Many friendship problems begin with assumptions. We assume we know what another person is thinking. We assume they don't care. We assume they meant to hurt us. But assumptions are not facts. Perhaps your friend was dealing with a family emergency. Perhaps they were overwhelmed with work. Perhaps they simply made a mistake. The only way to know the truth is through honest communication. Instead of saying nothing, try saying, "Can we talk? Something has been bothering me." Those simple words can prevent a small misunderstanding from becoming a permanent problem. Another common challenge is learning to listen. During disagreements, many people listen only to prepare their next argument. They aren't trying to understand. They're trying to win. But friendship isn't a competition. Imagine two friends arguing. One says, "You never listen to me." Instead of immediately defending yourself, try asking, "Can you tell me why you feel that way?" That question changes the entire conversation. People become calmer when they feel heard, and many conflicts become much easier to solve. Another important lesson is learning to apologize. Some people believe saying, "I am sorry," makes them look weak. Actually, it often shows maturity. Imagine you accidentally say something that hurts your friend. You didn't intend to cause pain, but your words did. A sincere apology doesn't erase the mistake, but it shows that the friendship matters more than your pride. A simple apology like, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize my words hurt you. That wasn't my intention," can begin rebuilding trust. Of course, apologies are only meaningful when followed by change. Words are important. Actions are even more important. Forgiveness is another essential part of friendship. Holding on to anger may feel powerful for a moment, but over time, it often hurts the person holding the anger the most. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending nothing happened, and it doesn't mean accepting repeated disrespect. It means choosing peace instead of carrying resentment forever. Sometimes, forgiveness allows a friendship to grow stronger. Other times, it simply allows you to move forward with a lighter heart. There's another challenge many friendships face. Life changes, people graduate, move to another city, start new jobs, get married, become parents. Their schedules become busier. Some people mistake distance for a lack of care, but real friendship isn't measured by how often you meet. It's measured by the connection you maintain. Some friends may not speak every day or every week, yet when they meet again, it feels as though no time has passed. That's because genuine friendship is built on trust, not constant communication. Another important lesson is accepting that some friendships naturally change. Not every friendship is meant to last forever. Sometimes people grow in different directions. They develop different values, different goals, different lifestyles. That doesn't necessarily mean someone is a bad person. It simply means your paths are no longer the same. Learning to accept change is part of growing up. Instead of holding on to relationships that constantly bring negativity, be grateful for the good memories, learn from the experience, and continue moving forward. Finally, remember that every strong friendship requires effort from both people. One person cannot carry the entire relationship forever. Friendship grows when both people communicate honestly, listen with respect, forgive sincerely, and choose the relationship over their own pride. Because in the end, it's not the absence of disagreements that creates lifelong friendships. It's the willingness to face those disagreements together with kindness, patience, and understanding. And sometimes, one honest conversation is all it takes to save a friendship that truly matters. Lesson number 4, choosing the right friends. One of the most important decisions you'll ever make isn't where you work, or where you live, or even what car you drive. It's choosing the people you spend your life with. Think about it. The people around you influence the way you think, the way you speak, the habits you develop, the goals you pursue, and even the person you eventually become. That's why choosing the right friends is so important. Imagine placing 2 small plants in different environments. One receives sunlight, clean water, and good care. The other receives very little attention. No sunlight, very little water. After several months, both plants look completely different. People are similar. Our environment shapes us. And one of the biggest parts of our environment is the people we spend time with. If your friends encourage you to learn, grow, and become a better person, you'll naturally begin moving in that direction. But if you're surrounded by people who constantly complain, avoid responsibility, or discourage your dreams, their attitude can slowly become yours. That's why it's important to ask yourself a simple question. How do I usually feel after spending time with this person? Do you feel inspired, motivated, peaceful, or do you feel exhausted, negative, and emotionally drained? Your answer tells you a lot about that relationship. Now, let's talk about positive influence. A true friend wants you to succeed. Imagine telling your friend, "I've decided to improve my English." A supportive friend might say, "That's a great idea. Keep going. I know you can do it." Maybe they even practice with you, ask about your progress, or celebrate your improvements. Now imagine a different response. Someone laughs. They say, "Why are you wasting your time?" Or, "You'll never become fluent." Those words may seem small, but repeated negativity can slowly destroy confidence. The people around you either water your dreams or slowly dry them out. Choose carefully. Another important lesson is learning to recognize unhealthy friendships. Sometimes, people stay in unhealthy relationships simply because they've known someone for many years. But time alone doesn't make a friendship healthy. Ask yourself these questions. Do they respect me? Can I trust them? Do they support me when I succeed? Do I feel comfortable being myself around them? If the answer is consistently no, it may be time to rethink that relationship. Healthy friendships should bring more peace than stress. That doesn't mean real friends never disagree. Of course they do, but respect should always remain. Another sign of a healthy friendship is mutual growth. Imagine two friends who both want better lives. One starts reading books, the other begins exercising. They encourage each other, share ideas, celebrate progress. Over time, both become stronger because they continue lifting each other higher. That's the power of positive friendships. Great friends don't compete. They grow together. Now let's talk about peer pressure. Sometimes people do things they don't actually want to do, simply because they don't want to disappoint their friends. Maybe it's wasting time, ignoring responsibilities, making unhealthy decisions, or giving up on important goals. A true friend never pressures you to become someone you're not. Instead, they respect your values, your decisions, and your future. Real friendship gives you freedom, not pressure. There's another important truth. Quality is always more valuable than quantity. Many people spend years trying to become popular. They want everyone to like them. But pleasing everyone is impossible, and often it comes at the cost of being true to yourself. It's far better to have two genuine friends who sincerely care about you than hundreds of people who disappear the moment life becomes difficult. Finally, remember that friendship is a choice. Every day, you choose who receives your time, your attention, and your trust. Choose people who encourage your dreams, who challenge you to become wiser, who celebrate your victories without jealousy, who stand beside you during difficult times, and who inspire you to become the very best version of yourself. Because one good friend can change your life, but the wrong friendships can slowly change it too. Choose wisely. Your future will often reflect the people you choose to walk beside. Lesson number 5. Be the friend you want to have. Have you ever thought about this question? Instead of asking, how can I find a good friend? What if you asked, am I becoming a good friend? It's an important question. Because many people spend their lives searching for loyal, honest, kind, and supportive friends, but they rarely stop to ask whether they offer those same qualities to others. The truth is, great friendships don't happen by accident. They are built by people who choose to care every single day. Imagine meeting someone for the first time. At first, you're simply two strangers. You exchange a few words, then another conversation, then another. Slowly, trust begins to grow. Months later, you've become close friends. What created that friendship? It wasn't one big moment. It was hundreds of small moments. Keeping promises, listening carefully, showing kindness, being present when it mattered. That's how lasting friendships are built, one small action at a time. Another beautiful quality of a true friend is being present. Many people believe friendship is measured by expensive gifts or grand gestures. But often, the greatest gift you can give someone is your time. Imagine your friend is going through a difficult period. Perhaps they lost their job, failed an important exam, or experienced a personal loss. You don't always need the perfect words. Sometimes simply being there is enough. Listening quietly, offering encouragement, letting them know they aren't facing their struggles alone. Presence often speaks louder than advice. Another important habit is learning to celebrate other people's success. This sounds simple, but it isn't always easy. Imagine your best friend gets promoted, starts a successful business, or achieves something they've dreamed about for years. How do you react? A true friend doesn't compare, they don't become jealous, they celebrate wholeheartedly, because real friendship understands something important. Another person's success does not reduce your own potential. Life isn't a competition. Your friend's victory isn't your defeat. In fact, their success can inspire you to work toward your own dreams. Another lesson is learning to keep friendships alive. Life becomes busy. People work longer hours. They move to different cities, start families, build careers. It's easy to assume we'll talk someday, but someday often becomes months, then years. Strong friendships require attention. Send a message, make a phone call, arrange to meet for coffee. Ask, how have you been? Small efforts keep relationships strong. Never assume someone knows they're important to you. Tell them. Another quality of a great friend is gratitude. Sometimes we become so busy looking for better relationships that we forget to appreciate the wonderful people already in our lives. Think about the friends who encouraged you when you doubted yourself, who stood beside you during difficult times, who made you laugh when life felt heavy. Have you ever thanked them? A simple message saying, "I appreciate having you in my life," can mean more than you imagine. People often remember how you made them feel. Never miss an opportunity to express genuine gratitude. Let's also remember that friendship is built on trust, and trust grows through consistency. It's not created by one kind action. It's created by hundreds of reliable actions. Showing up when you promised, keeping private conversations private, being honest, treating people with respect. Little by little, those habits tell people, you can trust me. And perhaps that's the greatest compliment anyone can receive. Finally, remember this. At the end of life, people rarely remember how many followers they had or how many expensive things they owned. They remember the people who stood beside them, the conversations they shared, the laughter, the memories, the friendships that gave life meaning. As we finish today's lesson, I hope you'll remember one simple idea. If you want loyal friends, be loyal. If you want honest friends, be honest. If you want supportive friends, support others. The qualities you admire in others are the same qualities you should try to develop within yourself. Because the best way to find extraordinary friends is to become an extraordinary friend. Thank you so much for listening. I hope today's lesson helps you improve not only your English, but also the way you build and protect the relationships that truly matter. Keep learning, keep growing, keep showing kindness, and remember, a true friend is one of life's greatest treasures. If you're fortunate enough to have one, value them. And if you're working to become one, you're already changing someone's life for the better.